Well, if it isn't one of my favorite builders. Fancy seeing you here. What's that? You live here? Well, never mind that. Here's the thing. We've all been under a lot of stress lately, and gosh, that adventure into Giegler territory, plus your usual 9-to-5 building gig? Mental health is a serious thing, and it's also my duty as Chief Safety Inspector to make sure everyone's doing all right. Recently, it's just come to my attention that we could all use a little checkup. Care to answer a short survey? Swell! Thanks for being so easy to work with. To contrast, I usually have to wait till Penn's asleep before I can get him to fill anything out. But that's neither here nor there. On with the survey! Keep in mind that your answers are totally confidential and will not be shared with anyone, so please don't hesitate to speak your mind. Firstly, how often does thinking about your battle with the Gieglers trouble you? And how often do you feel like builder work is just too much to handle? Right, got it. Last question. How do you usually relax when you're stressed? Lying. Lots of lying. That can't be good. Well, it looks like you're hanging in there. But I think that time at Gecko Station and all that work you've been doing lately is starting to get to you. You really should be careful. Mental health is no joke. Well, that'll do it for the survey. Thanks for being patient. I'll be analyzing everyone's results. You know, if it so happens that people are feeling down, I think it's only right that the church get out and do something about it, don't you? Anyway, we'll be in touch. Thanks again!
Yeah? Uh-huh. only really feel like I'd made it as a storyteller when City Hall started asking me to do the opening ceremonies for the running of the Yak Mill. It's a huge honor. Welcome, one and all, to the world-famous Sandrock's own running of the Yak Mills. Shout out to City Hall for inviting me here today. Now, I'll bet some of you are wondering, why the heck do we all get together every year to try to bump Yak Mills into each other anyhow? It is with great esteem that I shall now honor an age-old tradition and regale y'all with the tale that started it all. The Shonash Clash. Many years ago, the great-grandparents of our very own ranch couple, Cooper and Mabel, were traveling yak-back through the Eufaula, delivering various supplies up and down to the earliest settlers, long before the railways were ever built. Back then, the only road was through a narrow part of the North Shonash Canyon, and one day these two yak boys were passing through from both ends at the same time. They ran into each other halfway through, their carts in tow, each blocking the other's path. One called out, "You back out so I can get through!" And the other replied, "No, you back out so I can get through. I'm more than halfway through the pass. You back out." "No, you ain't. That's 1/3 and a quarter at best. You back out." This back and forth went on for hours, and pretty soon other travelers showed up and were understandably peeved at the situation. Funny thing about it all is this narrowest part of the pass was no more than 30 meters long. They could have all been out there in a couple of minutes. But no, both of those fellas were too stubborn to back down. Soon enough, push came to shove. Literally. Other folks on Yakback started bumping into our two antagonists, front and back, till it was just bumper yak bedlam. In the craziness of it all, carts were knocked over, packs were cut open, food and other supplies were getting tossed all out on the ground. Before too long, everyone came to their senses. One person started to laugh, then another, and pretty soon they were all tumbling off their mounts, howling over the absurdity of it all. Here, I'm afraid, is where it gets dark. When they all looked around, they noticed that the two fellas who started this whole debacle were both dead as doornails, both of them with their hands wrung out around each other's neck. In all the chaos, it seemed those two boys really never had let their bad blood quit boiling. The rest of them folks, they all picked up their supplies. It had gotten late. They camped out there at the pass and cooked up all the food that had fallen off the mule yaks and carts and such, conversing all about what had happened. Word spread and, well, here we are, all these years later, still commemorating the event. So all y'all, I invite you to partake in the festivities. Hop on a yak mill, bump into your best friend, and try not to take it too personal if you get bumped yourself. With all that being said, I hereby declare the Sandrock annual running of the Yak Mill Festival begun!
Fantastic news, newbie! You're being promoted, and your first task in your new position is to build and place a yak mill stop over by Gecko Station. Here's a diagram. Bye-bye now. Huh? Well, no, you'd be making exactly the same. Just with this additional responsibility, it's more about the prestige of being promoted. That's my builder. You'll do great in your new position. I'll think of a title later. See ya.
Yeah?
Hi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah?
Huh? Hmm.
Oh, hey there. I was just here putting this letter into your mailbox. On second thought, might just not. Oh, hey, shoot. I just remembered. I need to go home and lock myself in my closet. See ya. Did someone come in? Oh, I can see through the cracks a bit. You come to join me? One person closet, I'm afraid. You can hang out as long as you want. I'll probably be in here a while though. Air's nice this time of year. Oh, yeah. They're still wondering about those letters, huh? Heard about that. Yeah. Well, it sure is hard to catch criminals. As you know. Actually, I looked it up. Not writing your name on a letter isn't a crime. That's why I didn't get back to you. Gosh. All the evidence is pointing straight to, yeah, it does seem like I'm the lead suspect in this case. I mean, it's probably me, but what if it's not? Dang, it's hard to think inside this closet. Well, if it really is me, I'd want to be the first to know. Say, you're the best investigator we have on the force. Maybe you can solve this case. As it so happens, we are exactly where we need to be for that to happen. My house. I'll bet you could build a criminal profile on me based on my stuff. Why don't you take a look around? You might even find the secret letter I was going to give you. But don't get your hopes up too high. I hid it pretty good. Just head over to the jukebox and turn on the investigation music when you're ready. I do it myself, but, you know, closet. Nice. Can't have an investigation without the investigation music. Describe to me what you see, and I'll try to help out your investigation. Couple boxes of rocks. Nothing to see here. Really? Don't you have hundreds of rocks in your storage boxes most of the time? I'm not judging. Obviously, I have plenty myself. You shouldn't feel bad about collecting things you like. As long as you're not hurting anyone, I think it's fine. bunch of exercise equipment. If the perpetrator has been lifting weights like this, they'd be too strong to write. They'd smash the pencil in their grip, or rip right through the paper when they tried to write. Not looking good for our investigation. Well, yeah, you might be right. Probably not really either of us to say, though. Better keep looking. That's Wilson. He's sleeping. Better not wake him up. Well, I guess if it's for the sake of the investigation, up to you. Looks like he's not talking, which makes sense. Wilson ain't no snitch. One of my finest rock stacks. Note how each layer is perfectly balanced, and yet each rock supporting them is a different size and consistency. I like to think that this sculpture represents the idea that, no matter who you are, we all have a place where we can fit in and hold each other up, ideally surrounded by cool rocks. How could anyone with such a wholesome rock stack be responsible for something like nameless letter writing? Yeah, maybe it's a no-good lead. Darn. Really thought we had something there. Oh, these? Justice gave me these. He wants me to eat more meat for protein, but I'm more of a yellow soup and lemons guy. Oh, no, I'll give them away, or eat them. I haven't decided yet, but, you know, sky's the limit. Are we getting off track? Maybe we should get back to looking for clues. One of my quieter works. The little one on top I balanced there with a tweezer. The delicate serenity of it all makes me less worried when I ask it to do dishes, and it never does. All I know how to cook is yellow soup and lemons. It ain't much, but it gets me through the day. Right. Well, looks like we didn't find anything. Guess I'm not the one who sent those letters after all. That's a shame. I was really rooting for you to catch me, if it was me, which is still up for debate. Whew, do you mind turning on that fan? Sweating bullets here inside this closet. Did you read the part where I signed my name? Wow, if you didn't get it from my letter, I always thought you were super cool. To be your best friend, it would be an honor. In case you didn't see, I asked Justice. He said it's okay if I have two best friends. And Wilson, well, he's just not the jealous type. So things are kinda just gonna be great from now on, I think.
you're diving today too, huh? Hey, check this out! A mysterious black box. It doesn't have a latch or anything, and I can't break it open either. Believe me, I tried. I have to know what's inside. It's driving me crazy! The box must be holding something inside. What do you think I should do? Sure, Director Chi knows all kinds of stuff. Maybe he's even encountered one of these things before. I'll stop by the research center tomorrow around 6 p.m. You should join me if you have time. Well, I've got enough ores for today, I reckon. Be seeing you.
Get it off! Mabel! He's doing it again! That's it? I want this cat gone! Out of here right this minute! Get rid of it!
So glad you're here. You like kitty cats, don't ya? Well, our new friend Banjo here is in a bit of a pickle. See, he can't seem to stop marking territory around the ranch and everywhere in our homestead. Now my pa wants to kick him to the curb. But I know just what to do. Banjo just ain't got a place he feels like he can call his own, what with all the other animals getting their scents all over. I take it you've heard of a doghouse, yeah? Well, I got together with Hattie on the issue, and we came up with something we're calling an animal house. I've got the diagram for it right here. Can you build it up for me? Maybe this'll cure Banjo's affliction, and he can safely be a pet again. Swell! In the meantime, we can keep Banjo safe at your house, at least till he's got a place of his own. Great! I'll take Banjo over right now. Oh, and before I forget, here's the diagram.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Well, looky there. That there's a cat house if I ever seen one. All we can do now is hope that this improves Banjo's condition. Thanks a lot. We'll make a critter lover out of you yet. Hey, speaking of, you thinking of adopting any of the animals in town? They ain't just cute little companions. They'll go get you some cool stuff too. It's super easy. When you have a close relationship with them, they'll stick with you like family. Just build them a bed in your home. If you don't, then, well, they gotta sleep on the ground, and you ain't a monster, are you? After you adopt them, you can name them whatever you want. But take it seriously, okay? Don't be like my old man, naming me after a yak meow. Oh, and take this pet whistle. Don't matter how far your little critters are, give this a blow and they'll come running. Alright, that's about it. I ain't gonna talk your ear off no more. I'm gonna go find some cute little animals to play with. Howdy!
How are you? I take it you got our letter? My, that Burgess. That child went around to everyone in town to check up on their wellness. He has such a big heart. The results he came back with, I must say, were rather shocking. 80% of those who took the survey reported that they were at least suffering some form of anxiety. Some from the gigglers, some from the state of things. So I got together with our resident expert in fun, Katori here, and... Well, Katori, why don't you tell our fine builder friend here what we came up with?
It's my pleasure, Minister. I must thank you again for getting the church to support this project. See now, way I see it, the only cure to these psychological drudgery type have-you-do, how-do-you-do's is one word: entertainment. Seeing as Gecko Station has recently become unoccupied, we now have the opportunity to turn a negative into a positive. I present to you sand sledding. But we won't call it that, no, too simple. We'll call it sand running. Sounds sleek and sophisticated, something the youth can identify with. Our tourism profits will quintuple overnight, and the mental health crisis, I assume, will also be resolved.
This is where you come in, Builder. We need you to help us build up some of the things involved in creating such an attraction.
I've already explained our needs to Mianne. She'll be making the sand sleds. I need you to help us make the sign-in table. Here is the diagram. I drew it up myself. When you're done, please install north of the old Giegler building.
lovely! I love it when a plan comes together. Looking forward to seeing what the two of you come up with.
Thank you so much!
If it isn't, this was Mason's first day as a builder here. One of the cheeriest folk you could have known, back then anyhow. Your friend reminded me of him, Mian. Always the first on the scene to lend a hand. And I'd almost forgotten about those two. Email and Lou. That woman there with the glasses, and that fellow wearing a suit next to Theodore. They took over running the town at the height of the relic rush. Lou believed with development, Sandrock would figure out ways to overcome its environmental drawbacks. So he did everything he could to push for progress. Sadly, he was mistaken. With all those big machines coming in, along with more and more mouths to feed, the water dried up, and that was the end of it. In his later years, he tried to find a way to keep what was left afloat, but it was too late. He left office a broken man. Same thing happened to email. For nearly 40 years they fought for this town, but we all have our limits, I suppose. Now, no one in this photo is here anymore. But we have new hope in this town now. We've learned from our past, learned from our mistakes. Sacrifices are sometimes necessary to make progress. Let us hope that the last of our sacrifices have been made. Thank you for finding this. I think there are only a few more. I must say I'm astounded at how fortunate we've been. I hardly expected to see any again. Let me know if any more turn up. And thank you.
Hey there.
Howdy! Oh.
Oh. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yep. huh?
There! Fancy seeing you here. Hey, come check out this view. It's only right here that you can see both valleys of the canyon. But if I'm being honest, I really just came here to admire our handiwork from a different angle. You know, when I said my master Verna would be proud, actually, I'm not so sure about that. She's more into deconstructivist architecture. Oh, sorry, that's... No. You don't literally deconstruct anything. Deconstructivism is a design thing. You deconstruct all the rules that you're supposed to follow, then actively set out not to follow those rules. The result is usually something pretty odd-looking, but neat. You know, if you're good at it. Verna's probably one of the first architects since the Old World that uses this style. And I was pretty good at it too. It's just that this bridge doesn't really need the extra bells and whistles. Know what I mean? Here's one for you. Verna used to ask us this as new apprentices. Would you rather build something really beautiful or really useful? Exactly, yes. The world being the way it is, that's what we have to be doing. Making the free cities a better place for those who need it, with useful constructions. Master Verna, however, doesn't see things that way. Anyone can make something that gets the job done, she'd say. All of you are here to turn your plain ponderings of purposeless pavement piles into things of divine beauty. And though I do and always will appreciate a good alliteration, that ended up not being the path for me. Now don't get me wrong, I love superfluous geometric patterns on my buildings as much as the next gal. It's just, I couldn't stay in Atara working on vanity projects, knowing that the people I care about were here hurting. So after I finished my apprenticeship, I packed my bags, tossed all my job offers in the trash can, and bought a one-way ticket back to Sandrock. My master, she's a piece of work. You know the last thing she said to me? She showed up at the train station with one of those weird little pigs of hers tucked under her arm, just to squeak out one last, "You're wasting your talent." But when I see this bridge we built, this plain old run-of-the-mill, just doing its job and nothing else, very non-deconstructivist bridge, I know in my heart that I did the right thing in coming back home. We saved Sandrock, you know? This won't be our last fight, but very well could have been. It's good having you on the team. I hope you'll stay here. At least till we can turn things around for this town. Well, shucks. I didn't mean to tell you my whole life story. You probably got places to be, huh? I'll probably stick around and soak in the view a bit longer. I've rested long enough. About time I headed back. That was fun. We should hang out more. Later. Hey, doing all right? So, how did our sand wall perform? Did it keep your house spick and span, sand-free, speckless even? Awesome. Glad to hear it. I had a theory that a flying sand type would be weak against walls. Well, in any case, this is still only a prototype. At some point, I'll look into improving my design and call it, I don't know, something along the lines of Sand Wall Level 2. Working title. In any case, don't forget to always come in and check on my catalog over at the CJ, short for Construction Junction, and stay up to date on what kind of architectural additions you may be in the market for. Thanks for the feedback. Catch you later.
We got started without you. Hope you don't mind. So, yeah, like I was saying, I've tried everything. Drilling, heat, dropping it off the crane lift.
Yes. I don't suppose you have a steel ball on you, do you?
Oh, sure, but... What the...
Here's your bar back.
Thank you, Director. Whoa, look at all this old stuff. And there's a letter. I hope you're reading this under the light of the sun again and not still from the darkness. It's been 60 years since that event, which some people are starting to call the Day of Calamity. I hope this capsule can travel through time and show that whatever happened, there was some warmth in these dark times. Wishing you luck and a bright sun, Hicks. My Peach! It's a time capsule from the Age of Darkness! From right around the time of the first Builder Victor! What are the odds of us finding this? Wow, and everything here is preserved perfectly! What do you want to look at?
Unfortunate. Based on the approximate age of the box, I was hoping we'd find something undiscovered. These are all objects of interest, but I'm afraid none are particularly unique.
This letter has a bunch of stuff about gangs and hurting people. Director, was the Age of Darkness really that bad?
Ah, I hadn't realized you had failed your history classes. How surprising. Allow me to enlighten you. Yes. In fact, this letter is rather tame in its descriptions. In the first 50 years after the day of Calamity, the surviving population were lucky to locate even one proper meal per day, resulting in desperate panic and constant tribe-like warfare over resources. In combination with the poor nutrition, poor hygiene, and lack of sunlight, which led to various physical ailments and illnesses, the result was the lowest average life expectancy in human history. All in all, the era is quite suboptimal for research, and I, for one, am rather glad to exist currently.
Gosh, that sounds so horrible! But at the same time, it really is amazing there were people back then like Hicks here who never lost hope. Can you imagine? If it wasn't for heroes like Hicks and Peach, we might still be underground and worrying about where our next meal might come from. Director...
Social history is not exactly an interest of mine. I suggest if you have more questions, you do your own research or someone who cares.
Sure, Director. Thanks for all your help. Wow, what a find! I knew a bit about the Age of Darkness, but this is my first time getting such a hands-on experience with history. We need to try hard to carry on the legacy of these people from the past. That gives me an idea. Say, why don't we make our own time capsule? It could be our chance to contribute our knowledge and experiences to the people of the future. Director, could you draw us out a...
No.
Fine. I mean, it's just a box. How hard could it be to come up with a design? Why don't you let me figure out what it's made of, and I'll send you a diagram as soon as possible. I knew you'd be into it! While you're working on it, I'll gather up some historical stuff we can put in there. Maybe we can provide the people of the future with something more substantial than our old pal Hicks. Anyway, once you're done, bring the box to me. Then we'll go bury it. Oh, and let's each also bring one personal item that we want to send to the future. Make sure it's something that doesn't expire. Okay, it's a plan. Catch up with you soon.
Hey, I wanted to commission some homemade paint, but your boss said it was too small of a task to put on the board. Then he said some kind of greedy stuff. Do you think you could help me out? Cool. Actually, I was thinking we could enjoy the paint together. I'm taking the day off to paint my walls 3 days from now. Do you want to bring over the paint then so we can paint then? That's great news. We're going to have a really good time. See you then. Don't forget the paint. That's the most important part of painting.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Relics must only be used in self-defense.
Heidi, let me the mobile suit for a few days. I need it for research.
And what research is this specifically?
Specifically, 1. Analyze the operative efficiency of the mobile suit over various terrains. 2. Analyze the feedback efficiency of the suit while testing specific control inputs. 3. Synthesize these and other data in order to improve pilotability of the suit.
Alright, I walked into that one. That's on me. So what you're saying is, you want to learn to drive it better.
Framing my research with such terminology diminishes the prestige somewhat. But yes, one could say that.
Well, Doc, I know you love that thing, but let's not forget what happened at the ribbon-cutting ceremony.
You crashed the suit. That was a whole lot of hurt.
The injuries I sustained from said accident were minor and have since healed. You needn't concern yourself with...
I wasn't talking about you. The suit. Thing's all banged up now. Won't even start.
I see. Was this inoperative status in the mobile suit caused by my actions?
Well, to be fair, just us using it on the bridge is where most of the wear and tear came from. I think your little fender bender was just the straw that broke the camel's back. I mean, it looks like the front armor is damaged, and the ancillary engine is broken. On top of that, several hydraulic-powered joints are beyond stressed. I'd say it needs an overhaul to say the least. Tell you what, the city's got no plans to use the suit anytime soon. Fix her up, keep her in tip-top shape, and you can go on your little joyride. Sorry, do all the research you want. What do you think about that?
I accept. Although I will, however, need a whole host of rather complex materials to make the repairs, and to say that the Civil Corps could handle such a task would be a rather dubious claim.
Well, look who it is. When it comes to mats, why not ask our friendly neighborhood builder here to help us out? Quick, reliable, and a deft hand. There's no one better for the job. That is, if you want to do it.
Yes. The builder has proven their ability to acquire specific materials in the past. Indeed, they will be quite suited for such a task. One moment, please. Here is the list of the materials needed to repair the mobile suit based on Heidi's conclusions. I believe you will find the list comprehensive and easy to understand. Excellent. Please check the list carefully. If you're thinking of emulating Civil Corps habit of misreading an indexed item and recovering an incorrect material, instead, do not do that. I moved the mobile suit to my research center for its own protection. Please take care of it after you've found all of the required materials. Good. It seems you followed my instructions to not make any mistakes. These materials will do. Good. It was no small task, but it's done. I almost hate to put the suit back into the field, as impeccable as it looks now. But alas, bound to the pursuit of knowledge, I must. Presently, your assistance is no longer required. The subsequent tasks to be completed require knowledge far beyond your area of expertise. Goodbye.
Uh-huh. Yep. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Oh, thank you.
Hey there. You know, I really like walking around this desert setting. I don't know why. Maybe I was born under the Phoenix Star. Bye. You know, I really like walking around this desert setting.
You're here. Good. I need you to help me build something. City Hall told me I couldn't hire you as my assistant anymore. Something about conflict of interest. So I will be requiring your services as a builder. Can you guess what it is? The period allotted for guessing has expired. Santee. Aha, but this is no ordinary Santee. I have designed a device which can effectively extract Camellia sinensis into any liquid without dilution. Suffice to say, this is a groundbreaking discovery for productivity. Precisely. As you are well aware, my work involves a lot of concentration and mental fortitude. On a regular day, I start with 3 cups in the morning and 3 more in the afternoon. Based on the caffeine release speed and duration, this seems to be the most effective. Skipping but 1 cup would cause my concentration to falter. Unfortunately, with my current workload, I'd need several cups if I need to stay alert. The consequence would be a higher intake of water, which ends up as bathroom visits, and I've done the calculations. Many wasted hours. Anyway, if you could build me an express tea maker that can extract octuple energy tea, all my woes would be solved. I've got the diagrams ready for you in advance. Thank you. When will it be ready? It is imperative that it is completed as soon as possible. Here is a cup of sand tea to try for yourself. I'm sure you will understand the urgency of this once you try. Thank you.
Hello! People think I'm crazy for trying to turn this place into an entertainment hotspot, but just look around. It's free real estate. You know what I mean? People think I'm crazy for trying to turn this... See ya!
Good day, Builder. I'll have you know that I've decided to stay in this town until I finish writing the story on Logan. It's the hot story in the press right now, and my editor Eduardo's adamant that I see it to the end, no matter the cost. Since I don't see Logan being captured anytime soon, I've decided to move into the Old Town Lodge. The Blue Moon is cheap and quaint, but it's so noisy that I can't write for the life of me, and I keep having nightmares. Writing for the Atara Times is only my day job. I'm actually a novelist at heart. Though, I'm a bit upset that my pa sent his strictest editor to oversee my writing. I wholeheartedly believe that my writing will one day see mass popularity. Indeed. Small columns pay the bills, but are hardly fulfilling as a creator. The novel is the true proving ground for one's skill. This Logan character, adapting his story into a narrative of my own, could be the next big step for my career. Oh, well, yes, of course I have to do an adaptation. Not just to write about his life. I'm writing a novel, not a biography. Plus, if I used his likeness without his permission, who knows what a crude felon like that could do? He might sue! Furthermore, I'll never meet the guy. Well, let's hope. I'll never get an interview. I'll certainly never get permission to write about him, and yeah, this way I can write whatever I think will be best for the novel. Much better. I'll just make a bandit character based on him and call him Rocky. No, Dr. Killface. That's terrible. Right, of course. I did actually have a point to make with this tangent. That desk at my new apartment. That desk, the height is all wrong. The way I have to sit to write, it cuts off all the circulation to my brain. Now all my ideas are terrible. So, I need your finest writing desk with a pulpous comfy chair to get the juices flowing again. I'm counting crates. Remember, I need the finest writing desk with a pulpous comfy chair. I'll hold off on the writing until I get the furniture set. The best stories need the best furniture. I got another builder and the local carpenter to help out with the rest of the furnishings. Ooh, can't wait for everything to be ready!
Wow.
Ha
Thank you.
See ya!
See ya!
Hey, how's the paint going? Wait, don't tell me. I hate spoilers.
Builder, your footsteps sounded heavier than usual, and I thought you might have brought the... Oh my science. Thank you. Your assistance has been most acceptable. You may go now. You want to use the telescope? Yes, I was afraid of this. I've spoken with City Hall preemptively and made a formal request barring non-research personnel from using the telescope. Unfortunately, my request has been denied. I've been told, regrettably, I must be nice and share.
You may use the telescope starting tomorrow, when I don't need it. I prepared this as compensation for your efforts. Now, if you don't mind.
I wonder who will have the top workshop in Sandrock this year. Whatever we do, let's just make sure we don't lose to that neighbor Wang guy. Woohoo! Let's hit the town. I wonder who will have the...
Hey there, builder. If you're ever hungry, stop by the Blue Moon Saloon. That's my place. Hey, see you around.
Well, I think that's enough for today. We should get back to it, huh?
Howdy! Take her easy.
Oh, yes. Yes, these were the good old days. We were so full of hope then. We used to write messages in the sand with straw. If you stuck them in there with a shovel, they'd stay there for a long, long time. But this photo, it was quite a while after we started doing that. Ah, yes. It all started when I found that old book. I thought fate was giving us another chance. From the ruins of the old world that impoverished us, we found a book. One that detailed all sorts of agricultural techniques, advanced concepts that included even terraforming the desert. The methods in the book seemed out of our grasp, however, until I noticed that the message I used to write in the sand with straw, if I made them into a square, they could protect plants inside it from the blowing sands. And so began the straw grid. I began digging thousands of squares across the desert, sowing stubborn plants in each of them, ones I knew could survive. As the plants grew, the straw became like fertilizer. After a few cycles, sand turned back into soil again. Zeke might have told you something about those days, We were all building the straw grid, and for a while there we thought we were going to put a dent into the sandstorms. But the desert was too strong. We were like droplets of water fighting against an unfeeling ocean. No matter what we did, the winds kept blowing, and our oasis got smaller and smaller. I'm sorry that regaling such a pleasant memory took a rather dark turn. Please, stop by if you find any more of my photos.